Right, pink ball has pink, in fact, has been the buzzword this week, and the build-up to this particular test, the second test in that Port-Gavaskar series, has been quite fiery and full of drama. The biggest news from the Indian camp was that of their cricketers being heckled during an open net session that the BCCI had reluctantly agreed to in Adelaide just a couple of days ago. Nearly 5,000 fans turned up, and that became a bit of a nightmare. Cricketers, including captain Rohit Sharma, was taunted, batters jeered for letting go of or missing deliveries. In the backdrop of all of this, India took the field in Adelaide, a venue that has given them nightmares since the last series, 36 all out. Though they will not relive those memories just yet, the pink ball surely tested the Indian batters here today, particularly the young and fearless. Jaiswal was the star at Perth, no doubt there, rightfully so, striking a ton in that ground against Australia and being one of the youngest ones to do so. Of course, will always earn you top honours. He was scintillating in India's resurrection, especially after the disappointing series that they were coming on the back of against New Zealand. But of course, we also came to know of the cheeky, almost harmless quips that the youngster, Jaiswal, had indulged in during that knock. Take a look. Mitchell Starc, in typical Aussie style, made nothing of this. He's, after all, still the new kid on the block is Jaiswal. Very promising, yes, future poster boy of Indian cricket, but nowhere near the kind of experience that someone like Mitchell Starc has gathered over the rigorous years that he's been around in international cricket. And of course, no surprising there, Starc had to have the last laugh, starting off proceedings with a bang and welcoming India in the most dramatic manner. Come Adelaide, India winning the toss and batting first, as any team rightfully should, Starc dismisses Jaiswal of the very first delivery, a brilliant first ball of a pink ball test. The ball more dangerous than a red one, with so much more patience required by the batters, but even the best probably could have done very little to dig that delivery out without getting caught in front of it. Shubman Gill and KL Rahul showed some stability out there in the middle, but Starc really had the most reliable partners there alongside him. One, of course, was Scott Boland, a wily customer, particularly when you talk of the new pink ball. His accuracy and skill was enough to keep the pressure up, and Captain Cummins too, who dusted off the rusty start that maybe he had in Perth to support Starc admirably here, managed to dismiss the flamboyant Rishabh Pant. Of course, this pressure meant Starc just kept coming back in to chip away at the most experienced Indian batting lineup. Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, and the one batter who has impressed in his debut series here, Nitish Kumar Reddy, who was really looking good there with that 42. Starc took a fifer, 6 in fact, 6 wickets there, completely broke the Indian batters down. And once again, the Aussies started this test well. But if you thought that was the only thing Australia managed to get right today, then you would be a tad mistaken. The Aussie batters stepped up in equally challenging conditions. Pink ball under the lights at night. The young opener, Nathan McSweeney, stuck it out there. The score he got to, not that massive, but he braved the Bumrah onslaught. Even got lucky with that drop chance there somewhere during his stint. And man under fire after that Perth test also put up a strong resistance, did Marnus Labuschagne, especially to that 3-pronged Indian pace attack that was trying to get under their skin. Remember, this is the same Aussie batting lineup that for the last 8 test innings only managed to produce 29 runs in total among the top 4. The same batters who, especially their own compatriots, the bowlers, were miffed with after that Perth test. Josh Hazlewood, remember, made that remark, that offhand remark that really got blown out of proportions and really had a massive ripple effect at that press conference at the end of day 3 in Perth, saying the batters have to answer questions, almost hinting that it was the batters in the Australian team who let them down. Fueling comments of a rift in that dressing room, Aussie former cricketers too were rather unhappy with those comments that were made during and post that test, and quite that humiliating loss as well. But with the way the test here in Adelaide has begun, the Aussies seem to have silenced all those talks, at least for now. But the test, as we know, is far from over.